Welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. It's another match preview, another press conference from Mikel Arteta. Manchester United up against Arsenal. In the midweek, we did beat Southampton 1-3 or 3-1. You can call it whatever you want. Pepe, Saka, and who else came onto the score sheet? Do I still remember? But it was a big victory. I think I said it. Can we keep winning? Can we go 5 games unbeaten in the league? We were a little bit unfortunate that Southampton got the better of us in the FA Cup. The only silverware that I thought we could actually win, but the bigger result had to come in the Premier League. 3-1. Southampton must have been disappointed. They took the lead, but finally we were the better side. So Mikel Arteta has been talking about Manchester United and many things. Of course, he has been asked about Martin Odegaard, whether he's going to play, how he wants to use him. Are we even going to buy him on a permanent deal? And there are very, very interesting answers on that, whether Martin Odegaard is going to stay at Arsenal or actually go back to Real Madrid. I'm going to be going down there, reacting to Mikel Arteta's press conference. Smash the like button, get your subscriptions in, and comment with your predictions of this game, because it's going to be a very, very, very big game, especially in Manchester United's campaign. They lost to Sheffield United in midweek 1-2. I think they were a little bit unlucky because nobody thought they would actually lose to Sheffield United, but I think Sheffield were the better side there. They did everything according to plan, and I think Manchester United they had to do a little more, which they couldn't actually offer. Against Arsenal, it's going to be a very hard game. We shall talk about that in the predicted lineup in the preview. Let's see what Mikel Arteta has to say about this game, especially as his side enjoys 5 games, a 5-game unbeaten run in the Premier League. This season, I still remember were they 7 games without a win, and I was so furious. I was fuming, but things are getting a little bit better and better and better. Probably, if we can beat Manchester United, of course we have a couple of bad games to come in. We have played Southampton, we have Manchester United, we will take on Leicester City. That is away from home, so a lot of hard fixtures are coming on. Tottenham is coming our way. We have to play Liverpool again. So many hard fixtures are coming, but we need to deal with what is on first. It's at the Emirates Stadium. Can we beat Manchester United home and away this season? For me, it will be another title if we beat Manchester United home and away, because in the first leg, as many people thought that United were actually going to beat us, because I still remember they had beaten RB Leipzig 5 goals in the Champions League when they played us, and okay, we edged them a 1-0 penalty, which many people still think it wasn't a penalty. Pogba was reckless and so on, but games are games and penalties are penalties, and I think United have scored more penalties than any other team in the league this season, if I'm not really mistaken. So let's just run down to Mikel Arteta's press conference and see what the big man had to say. Okay, so I'll be using football.london. I won't use the Arsenal website, of course, for my own reasons. You know why I really don't want to use the Arsenal website. They always carve out those very, very deadly questions that journalists pose, and they go with the easy ones there. So I think this time it will be Kaya Kainak, who we use as the journalist, because I think that's who football.london did send in. It was not James Bank this time. And the first question was on whether Martin Odegaard could become permanent. And he said he has certainly all the qualities and characteristics that we are looking for that position. Then it will be down to 2 things. First of all, how well he adapts here and how much of an impact he can have in our team. Second, what Real Madrid and the player think about it, because he's owned by Real Madrid and the player has a big say in that too. I think Martin Odegaard still becoming a permanent deal. I think that is going to be an easy thing to decide at the end of the season. If he proves, Arsenal will fight to get him. If he doesn't prove himself like Denis Suarez, then he has to go back, there and play with Real Madrid and probably go out there on loan to other clubs. But I think it's a deal that Arsenal had planned out so well, especially in the first place. Get him on loan, and then in the summer put a buy option in the summer, but we couldn't actually do that. Now the problem is, in the summer, if he performs so well, it's going to be really unfair that Real Madrid overcharge us for a player who we have actually groomed into I don't want to say world class, because he's already a world class talent, but it would be a little bit unfair. It's going to be our own efforts that make him the player he's going to be, and then we shall have to pay a lot of money. But he's a very good player, like Mikel Arteta says, and we shall wait till the summer to see whether we can actually retain his signature. On avoiding burnout with Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe, yes, and he said well, we are monitoring that very closely, what they need, what they are doing, and the steps they are taking over periods of time, and assessing the time about where they are. On his phone call to Martin Odegaard, he said, I just wanted to give him a clear picture of us as a club, what we are trying to do, what we expect from him. I just try to transit the passion and excitement we had to try to bring him, show him the project, how he can fit into the project, and just try to persuade him that he's that this is the right place for him in this new chapter in his career, and try to make things work. And I think actually, if I'm not mistaken, actually 90% of the players or the deals we have done, it's been courtesy of Mikel Arteta. Either he has denied someone football and forced him to leave the club, or he has had a phone call with a player like Partey or Aubameyang or Willian to force him to join the club. And I think he's doing really a great job. I don't know how much he's convincing them or how much talking he's doing, but what I know, he's doing a big great job to attract players at Arsenal. Who knew Willian would come? Well, he has not worked out, but if he had worked out, then we'd be saying a very different story. I think he's done a very great job, and he's still doing it. Probably he has a very big project that is promising these players. I hope the project actually comes out to work. On whether we'll see any more transfers dealings in the final few days, he said when there are still days left in the market, there is still a possibility for things to happen. We are in close contact with all the things that can happen, and we will see. Well, I don't think there are going to be any more deals for Arsenal in this January transfer window. Of course, there are so many stories, and I'll cover them later in the day. We are linked with so many players. Lucas Torreira going out to Monaco. That's a deal that Monaco should do, by the way. I'm not really saying that because I want Arsenal to get some money, but I think he's that kind of player that could actually work for Monaco. Another kind of hard-working Fabinho, something like that. He could actually. He's not as talented as Fabinho though, but I think the hard work and the work ethic both share. He could actually work very well with Monaco. On what Odegaard brings to Arsenal, and he says he's a specialist to play in the pockets, to be in the number 8 or number 10 positions. He can play off the sides. He's a really creative player who's really comfortable on the ball in tight places. He has the capacity to create chances and to score goals. Oh my God. Almost the question that I was asked in the last video, someone told me to compare how Samoa and Martin Odegaard, and I think Mikel Arteta has just answered you. I think what Odegaard brings is that kind of creativity, that kind of ability to work in tight spaces, and the versatility on the pitch. That kind, he's like that Santi Cazorla boy you've been missing all over. How Samawa is different. He's not that creative like many people want him to be, or many people accuse him of being that creative. He's not so much of creative. He's more of a link-up player. Give me the ball and I'll take it forward. Give me the ball and I'll take it forward. Just look at him as a low version of Thiago Alcantara. But I think Odegaard, if it is creativity that Arsenal need, then Odegaard was the right answer, and I do not disagree with Mikel Arteta. On whether Odegaard can reach Messi's level, oh my God, these questions were really ridiculous. And he said, I wouldn't even suggest anyone could get close to Messi because it's a lost battle. In my opinion, Martin is Martin, and I think he's in the last few seasons he's progressed and developed in the right way. He's such a talent. He needs the right environment. He needs a little bit of time, but I think he's got the qualities to become to be a success for us. So, well, I don't want to say becoming Messi is a lost battle, because at least there are few pundits, there are few people who believe Messi is not the greatest player in the world. There are names like Diego Maradona, there are names like Pele, of which we didn't see. I've seen Messi and Ronaldo. I didn't see Maradona, I didn't see Pele. But of course, saying it's a lost battle, it's like we are not going to have any more big talents, in the coming years. Of course, which is not true. Football is football. Anything can happen. Football players are born every day, and I think, but it's also true. I think Messi has achieved a lot in the past decade as a player. So it's not really easy to just come out and you want to reach Messi's level. It takes a lot of hard work. But anyway. 5 years ago, Martin Odegaard was the new Messi. 5 years now down the road, the manager thinks it's a lost battle. He cannot become the new Messi. On how Matt Ryan is setting in, of course, Matt Ryan is the new goalkeeper, and he said, yeah, he settled really quickly. I was really impressed when I talked to him. He's really focused, really engaged with what we want to do. He's a professional guy, and is coming here to compete with Alex and with Ban Leno. On whether Torreira's loan to Atletico could end early, and he said, I don't know. At the moment, he's going to stay at Atletico. That's my belief, and I don't know if that is going to change in the next 2 or 3 days. So, and when he was talking about actually Lucas Torreira, he said, we have been talking to Lucas. Edu has been very, very close to the situation. He hasn't been playing as many minutes as we would like, but to be fair, the team is doing so well in Spain, and it is understandable they don't change the team so much. We just want to be right behind Lucas, protect him, help him to make the right decisions for the future. So let's see what happens, but we are monitoring the situation very closely. And that response tells you that Lucas Torreira does not have any chances of playing for Arsenal again. He only shows you that not now, not in the future, Lucas Torreira does not have a place at Arsenal, which I think is also unfair, because he's one of those guys that have always been hardworking. Maybe he might not be as talented as Mikel Arteta wants his players to be, but again, in every team there is that squad player that always comes from the bench. There is that squad player that always comes in, the Scott McTominays of the world. Those kind of players, the James Milners, not so much of big talents, but they work hard, and there are games that will require a player that just works hard, not really talented, not a player that passes the ball forward, not a player that really passes the ball at a very fast pace, but a player who can actually work hard. That's it. When you're playing a team like Liverpool, you need a player like Lucas Torreira, just to run in the spaces and cover much ground. But I think his career at Arsenal might as well have ended. On expectations for Odegaard, he said, we believe he's going to he's got some special qualities that we need, that we have been missing. Now we have to give him a little bit of time. He hasn't played that many minutes in Madrid, but he's been training hard. He looks so excited, as we are, to have another big talent in our club. Of course, we wait and see. I don't know whether he's going to start, because he has not talked about that, but let me try to see if I can find it anywhere. On whether Mustafi could leave, he said, we are monitoring the situation. I cannot say much more about that. There are conversations going on, and we will see what is the best one at the end of the transfer window. Mustafi, Arsenal are looking to cancel Mustafi's contract. Of course, that would really reduce on the wage burden and so on, but again, we need to see how things will be manning up there. On Mustafi's contract, he said, again, it's another situation at the moment that is open. We are having conversations internally with the player and agent. We will see what is the right solution for this moment. On Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and whether he needs to leave for game time ahead of the Euros, he said, yeah, it's a concern. There is internal football involved as well. After reaching that opportunity, I understand Ainsley wants more minutes. What he needs to do is fight, train, and tell his teammates and show us that he can be one of our starters. And I disagree with Mikel Arteta on this. I think Ainsley has already shown that he's ready to start for us, though. But Mikel Arteta has never given him that, never given him that that kind of trust he needs as a player. He has never been behind him. He has never, come out and given him that opportunity as a player. And I think, after some time as a player, you're gonna get frustrated, aren't you? He's done for me. He's done everything. Been there all the time. He's given an opportunity. He has used it. He was so good in the Europa League. He was so good against Everton and Southampton. Those were the 2 Premier League games he was given. He did what he had to do. We never lost any of those games, but still, I think Mikel Arteta is not yet impressed. So he says he needs to fight more and more on whether Nelson could leave on loan, and he says that's a conversation that we are having with the players that are not having a lot of time. Obviously, we want to keep their development going, and we'll keep a decision and we'll make a decision in the next 3 days with some of them on what the best thing is on Manchester United. Now we are talking. We know that it's going to be really difficult. They've been in top form. They've been on top of the table, playing really well. We know they are a real threat, so we have to be at our best to beat them on Saturday. And of course, he is right. United has gone almost 9 games unbeaten in all competitions, beating Liverpool in the FA Cup. That was really remarkable. But where they lost it is losing to Sheffield. Of course, that exposes you as a team, and it really reduces your confidence. They're going to be coming in this game to really prove a point that we lost to Sheffield, but it was just a slip up, and we want to get back to winning ways. If Arsenal can stop them, even if it's just picking up a point, it will really affect Manchester United's title dreams and title hopes. But it's not going to be an easy one. We beat them at the Old Trafford. They want revenge. They're going to come in. They have so many reasons to win this game. We have so many reasons as well, but they have so many reasons. One, they lost their last game. We won ours, so they want to come back to winning ways. The second one is we beat them at the Old Trafford. They want to take revenge. The third one is they're looking at the title. If they lose this game, Manchester City is having Sheffield over the weekend. City have a game in hand, so you can see how tight the situation is. If City win, City will be almost 4 points clear on top of the table with the game in hand. That is, you can't let City go 7 points, clear on top of the table. It's like you've given them a title, a title free of charge. And I still believe if Manchester City play Manchester United right now, it's gonna be an easy game, easy win for City. I don't know why I believe so, but I think City are even in better form than Manchester United. So it's not going to be an easy one, but I think we still have the tools and the resources to beat Manchester United. Their midfield works with 2 players, Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. If you lock one out of action, you've beaten them. Rashford is not in top form. Edson Cavani and Martial are not in top form. Actually, their team looks like it's running on Pogba and Bruno Fernandes right now. So you get the better of those 2 players, you have the best of Manchester United. But I'll talk about that more in the preview. On whether Odegaard will start against Manchester United, this is the question I wanted. But he doesn't answer it in the way I wanted. But he says it's a little bit early to decide. Let's see how he goes in training, and we will see. Do not worry. I don't think he will start him, but if he starts him, it's going to be a big surprise for Manchester United. And this is what I always say: if you're going to play a team like Manchester United, a team like Manchester City or Liverpool, you've got to give them a surprise, like bring something they do not expect. If and that's why Spurs is at times very hard to beat, because Jose Mourinho can set up in a way that you do not expect. You might expect him to just sit behind the ball, be on the back foot, and then he comes on the front foot. 40 minutes he's on the front foot, he has the ball all the time, and you just don't know how to do about it. So I think he might start Odegaard, but the chances are very slim. But we will have to see that. It's just hours away. On how bad he wants Aubameyang back. Aubameyang still has family problems, but he says yes, he's our captain and one of the most important players. We are doing everything we can to have him as quick as possible, but understanding that he's been really through difficult days, that he had to support his family. We are here to support him as well with the time that he needed to get that sorted. And of course we need Aubameyang in a game like Manchester United. You need a player like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's a threat. He's 3 points, and the last game we played against them, he was he scored the only goal. It was a penalty though, but I think you need a player like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. You need to set up very strong, and Mikel Arteta talked about this. You need to be at your best. You have Aubameyang, you have Pepe, you have Lacazette, you have Odegaard, you have Partey, you have Emily Smith-Rowe, Bukayo Saka. You need all your players back. Gabriel should be at his best. Banleno, everybody needs to be at their best. But I think we can beat Manchester United even without Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, because what Aubameyang offers us is that clinical finisher that gets 2 chances and scores 1, puts 1 to bed. I think that's what he offers. Now, what we can do without Aubameyang is make sure that Alexander Lacazette gets enough supply. He's not going to score few goals from few chances, but he can score few goals from many chances. So what you do is create many chances and let him waste some and score some. Saka is in perfect form. Emily Smith-Rowe is in perfect form. United should be scared as much as we are scared as well. On the fitness of Thomas Partey and Smith-Rowe, he said, "I don't know. Let's see how they come today. They have some sort of discomfort in different parts. Thomas and Emil, we will see how they evolve. We still have some days until the game, but not long. So let's see how they recover." On the fitness of Pablo Mari, Sebastian Tierney, he says, "Well, I do not." What does he know? Everything he doesn't know. We had a day off yesterday. We'll be training today, and we'll see how everybody is. I think Dani Ceballos will be training with the squad in the next few days. Pablo Mari probably as well. Obviously, Martin Odegaard will be joining us as well. For the rest, we have to see how Kieran is, and I think that is it. On whether Aubameyang will be available on Saturday, he says, "I don't know. I spoke to him yesterday. Things are looking better at the moment, but we are going to have to wait and see." That is it for Mikel Arteta's press conference. Finally, we have come to the end of it as it was transcribed by the one and only Football.London. He spoke about so many things, and of course, some of them I was really expecting. Martin Odegaard, I knew if any journalist wanted their piece to be read, they were going to ask about Martin Odegaard. They are going to ask about the new signings. They're going to ask about those things that we do expect, not so. But I think it's going to be a big blow if we do not have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. It will be a big blow, but it will be even a bigger blow if we do not have Kieran Tierney. United is a counter-attacking team, and whenever you limit them, you limit their spaces. Whenever you limit their fullbacks from moving, whenever you limit Rashford and Greenwood and whoever is playing on the flanks from moving, it really gives them a hard time to win a game. And we've seen, in the past 2 wins they have, it's been Pogba, pulling off, crackers, and they rarely do that. They rarely win games by scoring those heavy goals. Losing Kieran Tierney and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, they're big blows. But Mikel Arteta says, let us see how things will evolve, and of course I'll come back here and talk to you when he says that they will play. My name is Kosi, and I'll speak to you very, very soon. Don't forget to smash the like button, and I'll come back with the predicted lineup, the match preview. This has been Mikel Arteta's press conference, so they're not my words, they're Mikel Arteta's. So I'll come with the predicted lineup and match preview and my prediction in that game. But I also do a combined 11 between Arsenal and Manchester United. So much content still comes your way.